Tuesday handed over essential assets including laptops and computers to the National Council for Law Reporting, the National Agency for Legal Aid, and the Alternative Dispute Resolution Secretariat. The Network Against Gender-Based Violence organized a day regional forum on disability inclusive risks and disaster management at the Mansa Konko Area Council in the Lower River region on Thursday. His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, returns to the West Coast region today on the Meet the People tour, and we'll be going live to our colleague Ansumane Sonyasi, who has been with the tour since it's kicked off, and our colleague Babukar Sise, who is somewhere along the route. Those were the headlines, and before we go into the news in detail, we join our colleagues on the field. Before we go into the news in detail, we join our colleagues on the field on the Meet the People tour. First, we speak to Ansumane Sonyasi. So what can you tell us about what has been happening so far today at the as the President made his entry to the West Coast region?
Well, Jacqueline, the day began with site visits to 4 sites that were identified. And so we started with visits to the Governor's Complex that is currently under construction in LRR. They've made significant progress as far as that project is concerned, and His Excellency was there to see for himself firsthand how far the project has fared. From there, we also visited a plywood factory owned by some Chinese nationals, but the company is run in partnership with some Gambians, and it has employed hundreds of Gambians. This factory is also located in LRR. From there, we also visited the Soma Hospital, District Hospital. The First Lady, as you may be aware, her foundation is supporting the construction or refurbishment of several maternity wards across the country, and that hospital is one of them. From there, we also visited almost 100 kilometers of roads project that is currently ongoing, one of the biggest roads projects currently ongoing in the country. We also were there with His Excellency the President, and I had opportunity to talk to him. We had an extensive interview during which he expressed satisfaction with the progress of the roads there, but also he spoke highly of some of the infrastructural developments currently taking place in the country and being implemented by his administration. So we set out to the combos since 2 p.m. We've been on our way, and we're still on our way. As I speak to you, we are now somewhere around New Yundum. It's taking us over 2 hours between Brikama and New Yundum, and we're hoping to arrive Banjul very late in the night. As I speak to you, I understand there's another large crowd, as we've seen in Kalaji, in the Brikama SSP, right, in Farato and Pusumbala. There's one in Abuko as well.
Thank you very much, Ansumane Sonyasi, for those insights. We will now go to our Deputy News Editor, Babukar Sise, who is on the route somewhere. Babukar, tell us where you are and what is happening around you. Babukar, are you there?
Thank you so much, Jacqueline Colley. Right now, I'm at the Airport Johnson. Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm at the Airport Johnson right now. We left Brikama to Farato, Farato, Pusumbala, Pusumbala to Yundum. And now, we are at the Airport Johnson, where the people of Yundum, you know, we have Old Yundum and New Yundum. They all converge at the Airport Johnson to welcome the President. And for this bulletin, I have Mr. Sabali, the Presidential Advisor, who is with me here. And Sabali, can you please give us a brief about the President's Meet the People tour? Because I believe you are the President throughout the tour.
Well, thank you. I think this is one of the greatest things that the Gambia has to offer to the rest of the world. As far as I know, this is the only country where the Constitution mandates the President to travel the entire length and breadth of the country to dialogue with his people. And let me reassert and reclarify that this is not a political tour, has never been, even though we know the president is a politician and you cannot take politics from him. What he set out to do is to fulfill a constitutional mandate. He crossed over from Banjul to Bara, from Esau down through Badibu, straight through to Sabah Sanjal. He toured the entire North Bank region. And what is happening, contrary to what critics are saying, yes, the president does meetings and he talks to people, but he also inaugurates projects that are completed, and he initiates projects, and he inspects unfinished projects so that he can get feedback on the way forward. The meetings he conducts, of course the politicians will come there because those are the people who voted for him, but residents of those towns and villages, regardless of political affiliation, and I repeat, because I'm part of the organizing committee, we make sure that those who speak at those meetings are not only the president's supporters, because the president is not only interested in praise singing, he's interested in constructive criticism so that he can up his game in terms of the development revolution that he has pioneered. He's gone through CRR, through URR, and today he ended up at LRR. It's inspection of sites from training centers like the Animal Husbandry Training Center in YBK. He visited rice fields. He visited skill centers in URR. He inaugurated projects. He listened to people also who complained about their difficulties in the country. Let me let the people know this because this is very important. On this tour, as well as other ones, the president travels with a competent technical team headed by the delivery unit of the Office of Service Deliveries, who takes notes of all the points that are made at these meetings, brings them together, and the president makes sure that what is supposed to be done is done before the other talk comes in. Now we come to today, as we come to the Fonyi and Combo end of the tour, you see a jubilant, tumultuous crowd who came here and nobody gave them money, nobody forced them. They came here because of the roads that the president is giving them. They came here because of the water, the electricity, from the length and breadth of this country, the schools, the health centers. We are celebrating here that the Gambia is doing something
Thank you.
that
Thank
no
you very
other
much,
country is doing. The
Babakar.
president going out for dialogue with his people, to talk to them and to listen to them and to chart a way.
Thank you,
All the
Babakar.
development projects that people are seeing in this country, they come out of consultations like this.
Thank you very much, Babakar. Now to the rest of the news in detail. At the COP30 summit in Brazil, while speaking during a panel discussion with climate change experts on the Life AR initiative, Gambia's Environment Minister Rohijon Manjang applauded the program's climate finance model. She said Life AR strengthens national systems, empowers communities, and ensures that resources reach those most affected across the least developed countries.
The Least Developed Countries Initiative for Effective Adaptation and Resilience, known as Life AR, is a long-term country-led framework designed to help vulnerable nations build climate-resilient development pathways. It strengthens national institutions, supports direct access to climate finance, and places communities at the center of planning and implementation. For least developed countries facing intensifying climate impacts, Life AR is vital because it limits dependency on external supports and ensures resources are used efficiently to support those most at risk. Gambia's Minister of Environment, Rohijon Manjang, delivered a strong endorsement of the initiative, noting that it has improved the effectiveness of climate finance in the Gambia. The minister said she has long been dissatisfied with projects in the Gambia where only a small share of funds reach the intended beneficiaries. She criticized past practices in which 10 to 20% of resources went to communities while the rest was absorbed by administration, external consultants, and technical processes.
So the Life AR has come to change that business as usual. And this is what we really call for. We understand that finance is becoming a very scarce resource. It has always been. But now that the demand is becoming more huge, with the impact of climate change hitting harder on the least developed countries. So I think now is even the right time for us to even rethink and replan to make sure that the mega resources that we are accessing are utilized in the best way possible.
Manyang highlighted several national gains resulting from Life AR.
We can definitely say it very loud and with concrete evidence that the Life AR is working in the Gambia. We have seen that more direct access to climate finance has been now achieved with the support of the Life AR. And this is not only for the direct access, but even easy flow. And the institutions being capacitized for sustainability is there.
Gambia's Environment Minister says that for the first time, many communities feel respected, involved, and empowered to define their own needs rather than receiving predetermined solutions.
This gives them the buy-in, the ownership, and also the capacity to build their knowledge as to how would they identify the needs. I keep saying sometimes if you only follow what we want, which is unlimited, so the needs are very important. If people are given what they need, they value it.
Evans Nyewa of the LDC Group also issued a call to action to member countries.
To all actors, I invite you and call upon you to show renewed support and commitment behind the ODC vision and ODC leadership through the Life AR Independent Facility. Our financial partners, please, you are invited to invest in strengthening country systems and institutions with predictable, patient, and long-term funding that supports long-term programmatic approaches.
The LDC chair called on less developed countries to promote long-term investments in people and institutions that strengthen national capability and support adaptation beyond short-term projects. Reporting for QTV News from Belém, Brazil, I am Juldingay.
On Tuesday, the German embassy in the Gambia joined partners, diplomats and invited guests to celebrate the 36th anniversary of German unity, reflecting on the country's reunification and the enduring values of freedom, partnership and shared progress. Mam Nabuka tells us more.
The Day of German Unity, celebrated annually on October 3rd, marks the official reunification of East and West Germany into a single sovereign state, which began with the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the official unification in 1990, a momentous occasion that ended decades of division that arose during the Cold War. The country had been divided into East and West Germany after the Second World War. The reunification represented a significant turning point in international history, symbolizing the effective conclusion of the Cold War and the ideological split in Europe that had persisted since the end of World War II. The day serves as Germany's national holiday, providing an opportunity for reflection on the country's shared history and the importance of unity in overcoming oppression. His Excellency Klaus Botzett, the German ambassador to the Gambia, stated that this historic experience is why Germany will continue to support freedom, democracy, and peace across the globe.
This is why we're supporting Ukraine, which is defending itself against the brutal and illegal war of aggression from Russia. This is also why we're supporting many African nations in their quest for peace, human rights, democracy, and development.
Germany has maintained diplomatic relations with the Gambia since 1965, though these ties were strained during Yahya Jammeh's autocratic rule. Relations strengthened after the democratic election of President Adama Barrow, marked by German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier's 2017 visit and the opening of a German embassy in Banjul in May 2023. His Excellency Klaus Botzett became the first resident German ambassador to the Gambia in August 2023, marking a significant step in strengthening diplomatic ties. His mission has since then focused on enhancing cooperation in human rights, democratic values, and economic partnerships, with major support recently seen in the expansion of electrical access in rural communities, improvement of the nation's health sector, and curbing migration challenges. Ambassador Botzett and Dauda Ejalo, the Gambia's Minister of Justice, both spoke about the strong, fruitful diplomatic ties between the Gambia and Germany.
Here in the Gambia, Germany is and remains a strong supporter of the Gambia's transitional justice system and its security sector reform, among others. We will welcome in particular the establishment of a special prosecutor to prosecute the crimes committed under the rule of ex-dictator Jammeh.
Through capacity building and specialized training programs, Germany has strengthened our democratic institutions and security sector. May our relationship continue to flourish, and may the bonds between our peoples endure as a testament to mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation.
With entertainment by performance group The Gambia 88 and popular musical duo Barhama and Mariama Cham, the ceremony ended on a high note, underscoring the importance of learning from the past while looking ahead to a bright future shaped by cooperation and solidarity. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
The AU-UNDP Governance Reform and Access to Justice GREAT project on Tuesday handed over essential assets including laptops and computers to the National Council for Law Reporting, the National Agency for Legal Aid, and the Alternative Dispute Resolution Secretariat. The ceremony underscores ongoing efforts to strengthen the Gambia's justice sector. Asatubari reports.
The event aims to highlight the GREAT project's continued commitment to improving access to justice, strengthening institutional capacity, and supporting effective legal and dispute resolution mechanisms across the country. The ceremony also featured an official signing and handing over ceremony for various resources, including laptops and computers, symbolizing the EU-UNDP GREAT project's sustained investment in promoting equitable, efficient, and inclusive justice services. Mandisa Masolugu, the UNDP resident representative, commended the EU-UNDP GREAT project team on some of the works done in the Gambia.
I want to thank you for all of the work that you have done so far, that we have done together, and say, let us continue to remember what makes us wake up in the morning when we say we are supporting democratic governance.
Kumba Jau, Executive Secretary of the Alternative Dispute Resolution Secretariat, emphasized that the partnership with the EU and UNDP has been instrumental in advancing their work.
One of the major issues we had was capacity building, and this was resolved this year with the amazing work of the GREAT project. As we speak now, every single member of staff of the ADRS is a certified mediator, and this is very awesome. This year particularly have been a very amazing year for ADRS. What our statistics normally we was around 50 cases for the year for the head office, and maybe about 35. I can tell you that today we are about 130-something cases for the first time.
Zainab Jahate, the Acting Executive Secretary of the National Agency for Legal Aid, and Justice Narcisse Salawada, Chairperson of the National Council for Law Reporting, both highlighted on the important role the equipment will play in their respective institutions.
We receive today, whether for case management, legal education, digital strengthening, or field operations, will have a direct and meaningful impact on our ability to fulfill our statutory mandate. It will enable our staff to work more efficiently and extend legal aid services to marginalized and underserved communities.
The equipment and furniture that we are receiving today will significantly enhance our operational capacity. It will support and strengthen our editorial and publishing functions, and it will also improve and enhance the working environment of the staff of the Council, enabling them to perform their duties with greater efficiency, comfort, and professionalism.
The handover of resources is a reaffirmation of the EU and UNDP's dedication to empowering justice institutions, improving service delivery, and ensuring every Gambian has fair, accessible, and reliable pathways to legal support and dispute resolution. Aisa Tubari, QTV News.
Now, the Network Against Gender-Based Violence organized a day regional forum on disability inclusive risks and disaster management at the Mansakonko Area Council in the Lower River region on Thursday. Our regional correspondent Bakari Balde attended the opening ceremony and filed this report.
The forum brought together government and non-governmental organizations, community-based organizations, organizations of persons with disabilities, local chiefs, and other stakeholders from across the country to exchange knowledge, share best practices, and develop a joint plan to enhance inclusion and resilience. Faldu Sow is the national coordinator for the Network Against Gender-Based Violence.
Today, this forum, we will discuss about vulnerability of persons with disability during disaster, but about how do we cope the issues of violence against persons with disability during disasters, especially sexual and gender-based violence.
Principal Magistrate Mohamed Kurubari, chairperson of the Gambia Federation of the Disabled, stated that legislation protecting the rights of persons with disabilities must be upheld, and also highlighted key rights that should be guaranteed for individuals with disabilities.
Respect for diversity, individual autonomy, including freedom to make a choice by persons with disabilities and ensuring independence of persons with disabilities. Non-discrimination against persons with disabilities, accessibility for persons with disabilities, full and effective participation and inclusion of persons with disabilities in all sectors or societies, respect for difference and acceptance of persons with disabilities as part of humanity and human diversity, equality of opportunities, equality between men and women, respect for evolving capacities of children, including the rights of children with disabilities in order to preserve their identity.
Sarah Balde, speaking on behalf of the governor of the Lower River region, noted that the forum is crucial for addressing the challenges faced by persons with disabilities during disasters. He also thanked the Network Against Gender-Based Violence for this commendable initiative.
I want to commend the Network Against Gender-Based Violence and all its partners for convening this important forum. Your work continues to shed light on the intersection between disability, gender, and vulnerability, ensuring that our approach to protection and empowerment remain holistic and just. Our region continues to learn from the courageous advocacy of organizations and individuals who tirelessly amplify the voice of persons with disability.
Despite existing laws and policies addressing these challenges, the Network Against Gender-Based Violence is urging stakeholders to take stronger measures to support persons with disabilities during emergencies. Participants from the forum are also expected to share the knowledge gained with their communities. Bakari Balde, QTV News.
We will now go back to Alu Cisse, who is in the studio to take us through for the rest of the night. Over to you, Alu Cisse. All right, that's all we have for you. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the QTV Nightly News. Many thanks for joining us, and bye.